Hi, I'm Nancy Spicer. This is my submission for Week Three's website analysis assignment. The subject of my analysis is the website for the Virginia Beach Public Library, VBPL. The website can be found at www.vbgov.com/libraries. Let's start by taking a few minutes to discuss the general impressions of this website. As they say, first impressions count. In the Week 3 lecture for user experience, Aaron said public libraries tend to have busy web pages. VBPL is not an exception, but I don't think it's as bad as some others. In reviewing this site, what strikes me immediately is the way the library website appears to be nested, swallowed up, if you will, within the city website instead of standing on its own. The site visitor encounters this at several points on the site, including the You Are Here banner that shows the page hierarchy: Home, Government, Departments, Virginia Beach Public Library. This site would definitely be stronger if it had its own identity. Let's use the 4 points of persistent navigation as a starting point for first impressions discussion. One of the 4 elements of persistent navigation is the Site ID logo. While the Site ID appears on this site, the Site ID belongs to the city, not the library. Earlier, I mentioned about the library site having its own identity. The library has its own logo, but the only place the visitor sees it is when they get to the catalog page, either by using the catalog search window or Books and More /search catalog /search catalog link. Another element of persistent navigation is sections. Back to the idea of the library site being nested in the city site, the sections on this website also refer to the city of Virginia Beach, not the public library. After sections come utilities. On this site, utilities are on the left-hand side of the page, while the preferred place for less frequently used utilities is at the bottom of the page. The utilities link here refer to the city, not the library. The last of the persistent elements is a way to search, a search box. Having a way to search is also an element of designing for critical tasks. While there is a search box here on the right, it is located in line with the city's sections, and it searches the city site, not necessarily the library. Chapter 6 mentions search-dominant users and link-dominant users. Navigation for this site is slanted toward the link-dominant user. Let's leave the discussion of persistent navigation and talk about how this site does in relation to being designed for critical tasks. One of the questions to ask yourself when designing for a critical task is what someone would want to do on the website. When it comes to library websites, especially public library websites, the number one answer to that question is look for a book. Providing a search box is also one of the most important critical tasks of a site designer. I mentioned earlier that while this site does have a search box, it is for the municipal government's website, not the library's. So we see a Virginia Beach Public Library in big blue letters, and immediately under it, slightly to the right, it looks like a search window. But wait, that is not a search window. It is a window to sign up for the library's email newsletters. There is a window to search for books, but it is on the lower left side of the page. And if you are using a laptop, you might have to scroll up a little bit to see the catalog search window on the screen. The site includes the other elements of critical task design. There is contact information if you scroll down the page, and also under the utility link About Us, events are covered under Programs and Classes. There is a link to services. There is a link for hours and locations. Again, wordiness is evident when you click on the site, when you click on the utilities link. I should mention here that I looked at this site on both a full-size desktop monitor and a 15-inch laptop. When the site is viewed on the laptop, the site visitor has to scroll down to see many of the features. These appear on the screen in a full-size desktop. Navigation on this site is hampered by the lack of a home button to take the site visitor back to the library's homepage once you navigate away from it. The site visitor would have to think about clicking on libraries to get back to the VBPL homepage. Also, the name changes from Virginia Beach Public Library to libraries on the other pages. Clicking on Home in the You Are Here banner takes the site visitor back to the City of Virginia Beach's home page. Site visitors are left to guess how to get home and navigate their way back using their browser's button at least 2 clicks. If they click on Home in the You Are Here banner and find themselves back on the city's home page, then they have to figure out how to get back to the library site or just leave. Other comments. The amount of text or wordiness of the site. Chapter 5 focuses on removing unnecessary words. While the home page of VBPL does not appear too wordy, a click on the Books and More link reveals a wordy page. If you notice, all the links under the Books and More utility link are present on the landing page as icons. One way to reorganize this site would be to either remove the Books and More utility link or put the buttons on that page instead. This would cut down on some of the words. One of the concepts discussed in Chapter 10 is designing for mobile first. VBPL does have a mobile app, but I think it is obvious it was an after-the-fact creation. It is only available for iOS, so I didn't have the opportunity to try it out as I have Android. And here we go to Tools and Mobile Apps. And there's our mobile app, VBPL To Go. Also, the mobile app is a little bit buried in the site. You would have to navigate around the site to find it. If you didn't know it was available, you might miss it. Comments about the site's visual appearance. Virginia Beach is a beach community, so I get the blue with the blue skies, ocean. But I think in this case it gives the site a washed out appearance. Using the trunk test to sum up my website analysis of the City of Virginia Beach Public Library website. Question 1. What site is this? This is the weakest link for this site. The site visitor has to look a little more carefully to see that they are visiting the library's website and not the city's. What page am I on? The page names are carried through to each page. What are the major sections of the site? The sections for this site refer to the city and not the library. Again, one of the problems for the site. What are my options at this level? Navigation is a little clearer at the local levels, except for returning home. Where am I in the scheme of things? The You Are Here banner in each section helps to keep you oriented. How can I search? No option to search the public library site specifically. A redesign of this website with an emphasis on a separate presence for the library, improving searchability, and creating more visual impact would go a long way to making this site more useful and usable.